Hello, and thank you for being here. If you're a senior or you're someone who helps a parent or grandparent manage their money, this video is for you. There are 3 real changes happening at banks right now that you genuinely need to understand. And I want to be clear from the very start, these are not rumors, and this is not a scare video. Everything I'm about to tell you is based on real government policy and real laws that are already in effect. My goal is simple. By the end of these few minutes, you'll know exactly what's changing, why it's happening, and the practical steps you can take to protect yourself and keep full, easy access to your own money. So stay with me, because the very first change affects almost every senior who still receives a payment in the mail. Let's begin with the biggest one. The federal government is phasing out paper checks. This comes from an executive order that was signed back in 2025, and acting on it, the Treasury Department began stopping the issuance of paper checks for most federal payments on September 30th, 2025. Now, what does that actually mean for you in plain English? It means that if you currently receive your Social Security, your tax refund, or other federal benefits as a paper check that arrives in your mailbox, the government now wants to send that money to you electronically instead. And there are 2 main ways they do that. The first is direct deposit, where your payment goes straight into your existing bank account. The second, for people who don't have a bank account, is a prepaid debit card called Direct Express, where your benefits are loaded onto the card each month, and you can use it just like any other card. Now, here is what the fear-based videos online will not tell you. This is not a ban. You are not being cut off, and your money is not being taken away. The reasons behind this change are actually quite practical when you look at them. Paper checks are far more likely to be lost or stolen in the mail than an electronic payment is. In fact, a mailed check is many times more likely to be stolen than a direct deposit. Paper checks also cost more to print and process, and they take longer to reach you. So the real goal here is to get your money into your hands faster and more securely. When you understand the reason, it stops being frightening and starts making sense. But, and this is an important but, I know that for some people going electronic is genuinely difficult. Maybe you don't have a bank account, or maybe you live somewhere with poor internet, or you simply aren't comfortable with online banking. The good news is that the Treasury knows this too, and there is a waiver process. If electronic payment would be a true hardship for you, you are allowed to request an exemption. You do that by calling the Treasury directly at 1-877-874-6347. Let me say that number one more time, slowly, so you can write it down. It's 1-877-874-6347. Keep that number somewhere safe. So here's your action step for this first change, and it's simple. If you've been relying on paper checks, you have 2 clear paths. Path 1 is to set up direct deposit. You can do this by contacting your bank or by logging into your My Social Security account on the official website, ssa.gov, where you can update your payment information yourself. Path 2, if electronic payment is a hardship, is to call that Treasury number and ask about a waiver. The one thing I really want you to avoid is doing nothing and waiting until a payment is delayed before you act. Handle it early, while it's calm and on your own schedule. Now let's move to the second change. And this one genuinely surprises a lot of people when they first hear about it. In a growing number of states, banks now have the legal power to temporarily pause or delay a transaction on a senior's account when they suspect fraud. Let me give you a concrete example. California passed a law that took effect on January 1st, 2026, requiring financial institutions to set up programs that monitor for and respond to suspected financial exploitation of older adults. And California is not alone. Many other states have passed similar laws that allow a bank to place a temporary hold on a suspicious transaction, in some cases for up to a couple of weeks, while they investigate whether the senior is being scammed. Now, I want to be completely fair with you about this because, honestly, it cuts both ways. On one hand, the intention behind these laws is genuinely good, and the problem they're trying to solve is enormous. Elder financial fraud steals billions of dollars from older Americans every single year. Scammers target seniors with fake grandchild emergencies, fake government calls, romance scams, and fake tech support demands. And they often pressure the victim to wire money or move it quickly. These laws exist to give the bank a chance to step in and stop the scammer before your hard-earned money is gone for good. And many families have been protected because of exactly this kind of intervention. But on the other hand, there is a real downside, and I'm not going to pretend there isn't. It means that, occasionally, your own perfectly legitimate transaction could get held up while the bank verifies that it's really you, and that you really meant to do it. That can be frustrating, especially if you need the money right away. So the question is, how do you get the protection without the headache? Here's how. First, most banks now allow you to name what's called a trusted contact on your account. This is a person you choose, a son, a daughter, a close friend, whom the bank is allowed to call if they notice something unusual. It's not someone who can spend your money or control your account. It's simply a second set of eyes the bank can reach out to. Setting one up is one of the smartest, simplest things you can do. Second, if you're planning a large or unusual transfer, say you're buying a car or helping a family member or making a big purchase, just give your bank a quick heads-up beforehand. A 2-minute phone call to say, "This transaction is coming and it's really me," can save you a 2-week delay later. A little communication goes a very long way. Let's go to the third change now, and this is one many seniors are already feeling in their daily lives. Bank branches are closing all across the country, and this trend hits older Americans the hardest. Branches have been closing at a steady pace for years, with locations disappearing month after month. And the people most affected are exactly the people who rely on them most: older customers, folks living in rural areas, and anyone who prefers to handle their banking in person, with cash and a real human being, rather than on a phone or a computer. Now, I want to be honest here, too. This is not some secret plot against seniors. It's a business decision. As more and more people do their banking online, the big banks are cutting costs by closing physical locations that fewer people walk into. But understanding why it's happening doesn't change the very real effect it has on you. If your local branch closes, you might suddenly have to drive much farther just to deposit a check, withdraw cash, or sit down and talk through a problem with someone face to face. For a lot of seniors, that's not a small inconvenience. It's a genuine hardship. So what can you actually do about it? A few practical things. First, find out now, today, whether your branch is staying open. The easiest way is just to ask a teller directly the next time you're in. Don't assume, ask. Second, take a few minutes to learn where your alternatives are. Find out where your bank's nearest ATMs are, whether they belong to a larger fee-free ATM network, and whether your bank partners with any nearby retail locations where you can do basic transactions. Third, and this is worth serious thought, if banking in person really matters to you, consider moving your account to a credit union or a smaller community bank. These institutions tend to keep their branches open longer, and they're often more personal and more willing to work with you directly. The bottom line is this: you have options. You just want to know what they are before you actually need them, not after. So let's bring all three of these together, nice and clear, so you walk away knowing exactly what to do. Change number 1. Paper checks are being phased out. Your move is to set up direct deposit through your bank or through ssa.gov, or to call the Treasury at 1-877-874-6347 to ask about a waiver if going electronic is a hardship. Change number 2. Banks can now pause suspicious transactions to fight fraud. Your move is to add a trusted contact to your account and to give your bank a heads up before any large or unusual transfer. And change number 3. Bank branches are closing. Your move is to confirm whether your branch is staying open, learn where your alternatives are, and consider a credit union if in-person banking matters to you. Here's the most important thing I want you to take away from all of this. None of these changes mean your money is in danger, as long as you take a few simple steps and stay informed. The seniors who get caught off guard are the ones who didn't know these changes were coming. You're not in that group anymore, because now you do know. So act early while everything is calm and on your terms. And please, share this video with a friend, a neighbor, or a family member who could use it. Because the more people who understand these changes, the harder it is for scammers and confusion to take advantage of anyone. Before I go, one honest and important note. Everything I've shared today is general information, not legal or financial advice. And the specific rules can vary depending on your state and your particular bank. So for anything that affects your own personal situation, please check the official sources. That's ssa.gov, the Treasury, your own bank directly, or a licensed financial advisor you trust. They can give you guidance tailored to you. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Take good care of yourself, look out for the people you love, and I'll see you in the next one.